That's Lazarus! That's totally Lazarus. That's Allie's old truck. Good morning, campers. We are loading our next run. This is going to be a 2-day load, today and tomorrow. Nice and quick. And it goes through largely new territory for us. At least a big chunk of it is going to be new territory. And then the chunk of it that's not new territory is going to be one of my favorite roads. So it's perfect. What's Chris doing in that truck? Oh, that's so good. He totally deserves that truck. I hope they're actually letting him keep it. Welcome back, folks. Time for us to get moving. The mighty Lazarus is in the dock right now. It's, I was talking to my friend Chris. His truck's in the shop. He's not driving Lazarus full time at the moment. He's just got Laz as a loaner. Apparently Lazarus is the only empty truck on the yard that can be used for pretty much anything, because that's the second person I've seen borrow Lazarus this week. Which amuses me. Amuses me greatly. Alright. That should do. Let's get out of here. Oh, that's a really unfortunate bush. Oh, bicyclist. Maxwell. Don't miss the light. Don't miss the light. We might miss this. Hang it. Yeah, we missed it. That's right. We are turning left. We are taking US Highway 93 south today. Not going to do the I-90, I-15 detour because that's 600 miles. We don't want to do the 600-mile version of this load. We want to do the 500 or like the 400-mile version of this load. It's going to take us about the same amount of time as if we'd gone the longer route, but it's a much better drive. It's a much nicer drive. I've always wanted to do it. My trainer, the guy that taught me on the yard when I started, said this drive was amazing. Oh, that was the flatbed I was hearing there. Interesting. Alright, so this is slightly more than a 90-degree left turn, so we need to go a little bit extra wide, just to make, because there are people turning left on our left side. We're going to make sure we don't hit any of them. But we also have a little bit of a bike lane that we can turn into to avoid, to keep our off track in this lane. so it's all good. Not supposed to use the bike lanes if you can avoid it, but big truck, I'm going to take as much of the road as I can. Unless there's a bike there, obviously. Lines are meaningless to me in this truck. They are merely suggestions. Southbound. We're going into the Bitterroot Valley is the name of this section of highway we're going to be driving. Or not the highway, but the terrain. And see, that guy in front of us is the reason that bicyclist isn't in the cycling lane. Is because cars do not pay necessary attention. Oh, there he goes again. Right into the bike lane. We're not even in the bike lane. We're close because we're going around a right turn. We're not in the bike lane. And we're going around a turn. We're twice as wide as that car. That is why cyclists do not trust traffic. Welcome to Salmon, Idaho. We've got an important turn coming up. We've also managed to find a truck slower than me, which is always amusing. There's not a whole lot of folks out here that are slower than I am. But missed a switch. So what I was trying to say back in Salmon before my battery died, we got an opportunity to swap batteries at a construction site a moment ago, where traffic went down to one lane, so we had a stoplight that we had to sit at for a couple minutes. So I swapped my batteries. That person had a GoPro on his head. So yeah, we got the batteries swapped out. We are currently on Idaho Highway 28 near Lemhi. We're following the Lemhi River down southeast from Salmon. You might be wondering, why are we no longer on Highway 93? We're going to end up on Highway 93 later, right? Might as well just take 93 all the way down to Highway 20. It's like, yes, that would be faster. That would be faster. But we don't have the Idaho overlength permit. And US Highway 93 from Salmon to Chalice is limited to, it's not part of the national network, so Idaho does not permit 53-foot trailers on it without a special permit. And along with that permit, there's an axle setting. You have to calculate your trailer off track for certain radius curves, and you have to remain within that within certain limits that they post, which I'm pretty sure we'd be able to do, because we got the axles in like the 6th hole. We're like California legal, so chances are we'd fit the standards for being able to use that road if we had the permit, but we do not have the permit. Not now, Maxwell. We don't have the permit, so we have to stay on the national network. My GPS did not happen to agree with that assessment, and thought we should have gone the other way. That's fine. The GPS being the truck-based system, the Qualcomm OmniTrax. Actually, I think the specific GPS that is built into my Qualcomm OmniTrax E-Log is called a Navigo. Which, that was a nice large number of technical terms there, right? Yeah, the Navigo GPS that is built into the truck thought we should have gone on to 93, even though we are too long for that. But to be fair, that thing also told me not to do 93 in the first place. It told me to take I-90 to I-15 to I-86 to I-84. Which, let's be real, probably would have been the better choice. Probably would have been. I wanted to do this run because I'd never done it before. And y'all, that mountain pass at the Montana-Idaho border, that was something else, wasn't it? It was beautiful. It was absolutely breathtaking. And then a rest area right at the top, that's just so perfect for me. I love it when they do stuff like that. My intention when I got out was, in addition to needing to use the rest area, restroom facilities, my other intention was to see if there were any good photo opportunities up there for Mr. Maxwell here, and there really weren't. It was really well treed in, so you couldn't get a great shot of the valley or the top of the mountain that we were next to. But there was a small red squirrel, possibly a chipmunk, that was running around in the rocks, and I got a couple great photos of him. So if you want to see that little guy, I'm going to get those posted on Twitter later. Halfway between the equator and the North Pole, the 45th parallel, which means we are roughly of equal latitude with Baker City, Oregon. Yeah, now this is Idaho Highway 28. It's an excellent road. It is almost straight as an arrow from Salmon to. I'm not sure where it goes after we turn off of it. We're going to stay on this road till we get for another 87 miles. And we're going to turn right onto Idaho Highway 22. 22 will take us to 33. 33 will take us to US Highway 20. US Highway 20 will take us to Mountain Home, Idaho. And there we will jump on Interstate 84 for the remainder of the trip to Boise. Alrighty, so we're back on the road. headed west on US 20, south on 93. I think this is also 26. Because reasons. But if you look off to our left, you'll start seeing lava. And it's lava that's just, it's sitting on top of the flat ground. It's like, this is kind of what people who live near Kilauea are dealing with right now, is the lava just comes in and then, hey, there's a new level of ground that is up where the lava is. It just stops there and it hardens, and hey, your place is now buried under rock. Like there's a sharp edge to the lava where the lava just stopped and solidified here. You might be wondering, why is there lava in Idaho? We are near Craters of the Moon National Monument, which is kind of a remnant of the volcanic past of this region. This is, we are west of Yellowstone National Park, which if you've watched the History or Discovery channels in the last 20 years, you'll know Yellowstone National Park is volcanic. There's a very large magma chamber underneath Yellowstone National Park, and that magma chamber has been there for a very long time. Well, the North American tectonic plate is not stationary, even though the plume underneath Yellowstone has been mostly stationary. The plate has moved over it, much like the Hawaiian Islands. You can tell how that plate is moving by the direction the islands move away from where the hotspot is now. All of those islands were created by the same volcano that is now Kilauea. You really shouldn't do that. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. There you go. You waited all that time, and then that was when you tried to pass me. Okay. At least they abandoned it instead of going for it. So, all right, you can pass me now. No? You're gonna wait for another car to show up, aren't you? All right. Some people are just so skittish, and then they overcommit when they decide to actually go for the overtake. They wait too long, and then they overcommit. You don't have to jump out and start passing someone the moment you think there's a gap. You just kind of wander near the center line, look past the vehicle. You stay back far enough you can actually see past the truck. Get close to the center line. The truck is in any way responsible will be kind of over onto the right on a little road like this that has a nice shoulder, so that you can see past us. And you just look for your 20 to 30 second gap, whatever you need to get around the truck. Most cars can probably do it in like 10 seconds, just floor it and go around. You look for your gap and you go for it. You don't just jump into the other lane and hope for the best from right behind the truck where you can't see anything. But anyway, yeah, so volcanic past here. So the North American plate kind of slid over the Yellowstone hotspot. Really? Really? You have no idea what's coming over that hill. Alright, you're past me. Get back over here before that guy hits you, because he's coming. There's a dude right over that hill. There you go. They did it. They survived. But, yeah, so the North American plate slid over Yellowstone's hotspot before it was under Yellowstone. And it kind of melted this valley into Idaho. This is, to our right, should be part of the Rocky Mountains, but it's separated from the Rocky Mountains by the valley that was dug by the Yellowstone hotspot. And this is one of those spots where, right here in front of us, we're actually about to drive into the lava field. This is one of those spots where the magma did not entirely stay underground. It came up, became lava, and just oozed out onto the surface of Idaho and just piled out. And it's still here. Like, it is, you can just see where it stopped. Like, there's a hard edge between lava flow and soil. Though weathering effects over time have, and there we are, we're now in the lava field. Weathering effects over time have deposited more soil on top of the lava flow, as well as turned smaller into soil just through erosion. So there is some plant life on top of the lava here. But it is remarkable. We're going to get to some of the bits further on into the park, or National Volcanic Monument, not necessarily a park per se. There's some bits further on where there's just no vegetation at all. The landscape still has not attempted to reclaim. Are you actually leading an oversized load, or is that sign a lie? I don't see your oversize. And you didn't have your lights on. So probably not. But there are areas in this park where nature still has not managed to reclaim the territory it ceded to the lava flow. It's just so cool. This is so cool. This is so lovely. The visitor center is right up here. You can see the power lines going off to it on the left. We just went underneath them. And the turn is just over the top of this hill. The visitor center has a great view because it's up here. But unfortunately, they do not have truck parking. You can park out here and walk to the visitor center as a truck driver. That is the only way we're going to get to hang out. And they've got walking paths up to the overlook viewpoints. A lot of RVs in there right now. That's kind of neat. I'm guessing this is the exact point where all the lava flowed out because of the really weird shapes. We're probably driving through the caldera of whatever vent spouted all this lava. This is cool, right? This is so cool. I am so easily impressed by just neat landscapes, and this is a wholly unique landscape. This is the only spot. I mean, it's not the only spot. This is one of the very few spots where you can see this kind of landscape. The other ones, we saw something similar down in the Mojave Desert. There's a lava flow near I-40, and of course there is the entirety of Hawaii. It's just old lava flows, and it's a much more active hotspot than Yellowstone is as far as spewing lava. So those are much larger flows, entire islands in fact. I love this stuff. Truck routes that go through cool places are my jam. Good morning, campers. I'm afraid you don't get to watch me back into that tricky dock on the left there. I already did. I backed into it, got unloaded, and drove out of it already. So, sorry. Sorry. They came in a little earlier than I was expecting and got me unloaded. And I didn't even have time to hook up the camera. It was just like, whoop, pop yourself into the door and we're good. So, yeah. Oh, there we go. That's a good view there. You can see through all the gaps. Just enough to see the crap to my left. Go, dude, go, dude, go. Thank you. We are in Boise, Idaho. Tried to record coming in here last night. Battery died, so that might have been in the video. I don't know. I went from 30% battery to 0 in like 10 seconds. One more stop on this load. It's most of the cargo is going there, actually. Left turn. Still in the other lane. Move over. There you go. Good job. Thank you, Van. And 10. Oh, interesting. East 84 bears right off of this road. That's fun. That's fine with me. We're going to stay about 55 on 184. Just because the speed limit's kind of low on this interstate, and I want to make sure we hit our exit right. About 5 under, I think, is wise here. Give us slightly more time to react. Also, the on-ramps look kind of short. Kind of short. Gosh, there's nothing more terrifying than sneezing while driving a 40-ton truck. We're probably only 30 tons right now. Still sneezing, terrifying. Here's a mechanism your body does that forces you to close your eyes. Great timing when you're driving a truck. A little bit of engine braking down the hill. Is that our intersection at the bottom of the hill here? Yeah, I believe it is. Yam Hill Road, I think. Oh, you know what? I bet it's Yam Hill Road. This is a potato state. It's Yam Hill. I guarantee you it's Yam Hill, not Yam Hill. Unless you pronounce sweet potatoes as yams, or in yams. In which case it is Yam Hill, but I think it's Yam Hill. Yeah, there's the Cisco. Nobody to my left, so we can go a little bit wide. Not that we need to. Oh yeah, that was cut plenty wide enough for us. Okay, so the deal here is you park on the street and you go inside. And is this enough space for me to park without blocking the bike path? No, it's absolutely not. We're going to do it anyway. I think it might actually be enough space. Space. We're absolutely still going to be blocking the bike path, but load. Done. Nobody from the left, one person from the right. Let him pass. Let him go. Conveniently, there's a stoplight at the end of the street. Line fence. We're good. Freedom. Alright, cool. You're not turning in front of me. That's cool. Sorry I'm slow. Alright, so we are going to head for our next load. We are unloaded. We are empty. Both stops done and done. I will see you in the next video, which will start, just whenever I start the next load officially, which will be in a bit. We're going to roll straight from this load into the next one, so it might actually be, like, the next video could very well take place today. But the next load, depending on how that works out, might be a multi-part video because it's going to be a long one. It's going to be a very long one. Can you follow me? Yeah. Disclaimer. Follow me. Thank you. Get my mini map up and going. Plenty of places to park down there. That's neat. And there's the load. Are you really? Yeah, you jerk. Didn't even stop. Now that's a dangerous driver right there. Why, but I thought there was a clover leaf here for some reason. Nope, left turn. Unless that guy's turning. That guy's turning. Fantastic. Turn signals. Do you use them? Oh, this is a lovely little ramp. I really like this. This is like kind of adorable landscaping. Oh, there's one of our old trailers. That is not one of our current fire cache trailers. That is one of the ones that got sold off and never got repainted. Those guys get into trouble all the time, and it winds up getting reported on news stories, Facebook, just like if you go to the reviews for Jim Palmer Trucking on Google, there's one of the photos is of a crashed Jim Palmer trailer with some random other truck attached to it. So it's not one of ours, it's one of the Jim Palmer trailers that got sold off. So that's just like as a photo on the Jim Palmer Trucking headquarters Google page. And that comes out of an article, and of course the article didn't actually look into who the trucking company was, they just went off the trailer. Because the tractor was not, in fact, one of ours. And then there's also complaints in the Facebook reviews about terrible drivers on the East Coast with our trailers. Like, y'all are awful. So no, it's not us. It's not us, trust me. It's just people who bought our trailers and didn't repaint them. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. My name is Leopard, AzerAngel17 on Twitch, Xbox Live, and Steam. Sorry, on Twitch and Steam, Leopard on Twitter and Xbox Live. Come say hi on the Twitters if you haven't already. I'm there all the time. Try not to look like a robot if you can avoid it. That guy just cut off that pickup truck. That was great. Try not to look like a robot. I do block accounts that look like bots, which are like just generic names and a bunch of numbers and then no tweets at all. Like those just pretty much instant block. In my book, but as long as you don't look like a robot, like if you look like a person, or if you say something, say hi. Like not just hi, but like, hey, saw your videos or whatever. That's a great way for me to not think you're a bot. So, look human, is what I'm saying. Please look human. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.